Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division 2 video today by myself, Vulcan, and Attack Power.
Hey guys, excited to be here.
In this video we have for you game 2 of a best of 5 between Onord and Gonzo in the grand final of Season 8 of the Steel Division 2 League. Today they are playing on Slutsk East, and on our left in the red, playing on the allied side, we have Onord using the 2nd Guards Tank Corps and the Maverick deployment type. And on our right in the blue, we have Gonzo on the Axis side playing with the 20th Panzer and the Maverick deployment type. So Gonzo already 1-0 up in this best of 5. We'll have to see if Onord can take one back. What do you think of these divisions, Attack Bar?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of both of these. I don't think either of them are like S tier or anything these days, but I think they're both really solid. I mean, 20th has been good since the game came out. There's really nothing terribly wrong with it. It's got some questionable Air Force. It definitely doesn't get very good fighters and stuff, but other than that, it's really missing nothing. Maybe it's not the deepest infantry tab, but it's good. It's just very good. Second tank is actually one of my favorite allied divisions. I like T-34-85s. It gets those in spades, and Onord will actually dominate the 2K range because all of his T-34-85s will outrange the Panzer IVs. So if he can take the advantage of that, it could really help him pull this game into his favor.
Yeah, since they changed the 2nd Guards T-34-85 1944s to have that like 2K range, as opposed to the 1943s that only have the 1,900 or 750 meter range, they are actually really interesting units. They're very good at taking on things like Panzer IVs because the Panzer IVs obviously lack the range, and T-34s have very consistent penetration against those units. So they are really great value for money in that sort of situation. And the 20th Panzer is a division that loves to use Panzer IVs and also smaller armor like the Panzer IIIs. So it'd be interesting to see if Onord can get value out of those. He's also got the ISU 152s at his disposal, so fantastic open range engagement tools.
Yeah, and the 110 millimeters of armor on the T-34-85 actually bounces the Panzer IV shells really often. Like you at max range, you're bouncing a lot of those shells, so it really gives you advantage. And of course, those ISU 152s can just be so strong and so obnoxious to get rid of. They can really dominate in open ground.
Yeah, Gonzo does have the Butch Stalin that he can use to help with the longer range engagements, but he's got to really kind of pray to RNGesus that those shots land at long range. Otherwise, they're not going to be doing anything.
And he only gets one, so he makes one screw up with it, and there is no more of those.
Absolutely. Right, let's have a quick look at what's going down. On the top side, on the left for Onord, we have the PTRS squad, the Flamer. There's going to be 2 guards, one with the DP. Dosor coming in the BA-64B. Nice combination, like that little armored car. T-34-85 1944, and the 25mm AA. Further down we got the PTRS, we got the SG-43s, Dosor, OB-25 and the Tanko, and also the ISU 152. And on the bottom side we have 2 PTRS, SGs, Razvedka, Guards, and also another PTRS there. Anything you want to say about that? You seemed a little bit excited.
The double star ISU 152 is really weird to me. I don't really feel like veterancy helps those things out that much that I'd want to double star it.
I guess rate of fire potentially, and
guess
also accuracy.
Yeah, I mean the accuracy is like a 4% increase. I don't feel like that makes or breaks anything.
The rate of fire is not that big either.
Yeah, so I just don't. I would prefer to have 2 of these over 1, but I guess that's just me because my stuff dies and I guess Onord's doesn't.
Let's have a quick look at Gonzo's. We've got some soft strip on the top side there. He's got 2 Aufkleider heading towards that top side as well to cover the open. MG42, Panzergren, Pioneer Führer, Pack 40, Güler, Panzer IV, and the Marder 1 at the start. Heading towards the top side town, we've got the triple Panzergren with the Aufkleider, Pioneer Führer, Panzer IV, Panzer IIIs. And on the bottom side, it's going to be more Panzergren with the Panzerschreck and the Panzer IV F1. So, an interesting setup. He's got a lot of these Aufkleider out of the start. He's going to be putting one in the church, and then he's got the 2 covering out in the open. We saw this out of Gonzo in the last game as well. With the 26th Panzer, he brought in these early Aufkleider squads. Nice cheap recon.
Yeah, and at 1 star, they do actually have a little bit. They see a little bit better. And I think when you get to the level of Onord and Gonzo, you need information.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, PTRS and the Flamers going to be moving into the top side, but we'll be bumping into this Stoss troop. I really like this cheeky placement of the Stoss troop here. It's like he knew that Onord would go for this, so he just kind of left that there as like a booby trap.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, once these Gavardia DP get in there, it won't last long.
PTRS trying to push in on the bottom side as well. Did get into the building there, but coming under fire from a lot of these DP squads. Although the Panzer guns with DPs. The Panzer IV F1 though should be able to help out. But as you mentioned on the top side, yeah, these guards, they are in these half tracks, which does allow them to get close, avoid that light arms fire, and just push on through. And that guard DP doesn't want to get close to that Stoss troop, just going to keep driving.
Yep, forget that. We'll just go on by.
But the other guards have stopped. Going to try and take him out. Grilo does take out the BTRS in the open. Panzergren going to go down to the Tanko Desaniki though, on the bottom side of this open area.
Yeah, and we see Onord once again making a huge push at the beginning. 15-9 right off the bat. We saw this last game where he just overwhelmed Gonzo early. And we have to see if Gonzo can perform another pullback miracle. PE2 coming in. These are absolutely deadly. They are so good.
Yeah, first one's already on its way. Looking for the Marder 1 there. Does manage to dodge it, Gonzo. But the Grilla has gone down. The T-34-85 does find a clean shot onto that 2-star veterancy. Going to be very, very helpful. ISU-152 looking to clean up some of this armor as well. The Marder 1 taking a few pot shots there, but not quite getting the job done.
Yeah, and I think this is where Onord needs to play. I mean, 2nd Guard just has more 2K stuff than 20th Panzer.
Yeah, and he's actually in a really good position already. Like the guards going up against the Stoss troop here on the top side with that flag. Like they've cleaned out one of the squads. If he can kind of get infantry to the bottom side of this hill, it makes it very difficult for Gonzo to push off without putting his face in front of these T-34-85s. So he can control these top side flags really, really well.
Absolutely. And the thing is, these Stoss troop are not the Stoss troop Berettas. These are significantly less good. So they will not just melt these Gavardias.
Yeah, they've only got the MP40s and PPSH, so definitely not
Marder
doing as
1.
much.
Marder 1 going after this ISU-152 here. It definitely can pen it. And let's see if that ISU can land a shot.
Yeah, it really depends on whether or not the Marder can actually hit its shot, because currently it's missed pretty much every single one. It bounced that one, and that's not going to happen. So Onord going to be backing it off for the time being. This 2 actually on its way to help support, which is actually kind of cheeky in this sort of situation. Yeah, it's going to suck if the Grilla gets on target there, but against like the Marder 1 and the Panzer IV, having a ZIS-2 sort of support something like an ISU is actually really nice. But a T-34-85 1944 coming in on the bottom side, and also the 25mm AA. We haven't seen any aircraft out of Gonzo yet, have we?
No, and 20th doesn't have a ton. What it really has is it has a couple Ju-87 cluster bombers. That would be what I would be most worried about out of them.
It's also the BF-109 250-kilogram bombs.
Oh, that's right. Those are quite good.
Yeah, they can be pretty oppressive, but even so, like, I don't feel like you need to necessarily invest in AA unless you see those come out. I'm not sure.
I guess. I mean, it's 45 points. It's not like a huge...
Yeah,
those 25 mils are not very expensive. We got this PE2 coming in again. I don't know. I would think this is a second one because that reloaded rather fast, but maybe it does reload that fast.
Probably the second one in phase A there, looking for the bombing strike again onto this Marder 1, trying to clean it out. But since those dropped their bombs from so high up, it is quite nice for avoiding AA, but it does mean that your units on the ground, particularly if they are motorized, can move out of the way.
Up north, the Gavardia are pushing forward. The Stoss group doing quite a bit of damage to that first squad. Let's see if the DPs can finish them off now that they've whittled them down a bit.
Although the Molotov's coming off cooldown. Jumped it out. And back in. He had to jump it out of the building so that it had the range to engage. Yeah, because they were too close to throw it. So he might actually be able to pin down that guard squad and take them out. That'd be absolutely awesome if he managed to pull that off.
The ZIS-2 is deployed now. Looks like it's aiming up at that Marder 1. This is what he wanted.
Yep.
Lands a hit.
Cleaning up that Marder 1 is what he needs to do to get this ISU into a good position to cover the road. But the Deutsche Stalin is on its way, and
Here
Pack
it is.
40, also on this hill, is now going to get fire onto the ZIS 2. A couple Panzer gun DP just going to be screening, pushing forwards, probably towards his Tanko unit eventually.
Slutsk up north does go down, but another one is coming in to replace, unless it goes down to... Nope, it does not. So it will get into the town. More Gavardia coming in, though, to try to help shore that up. Still the 15-9. We're still on the double tick for Gonzo this whole A phase, basically.
Yeah, for Onord, you mean?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
IL-2 coming in.
Yeah, Deutsche Stalin, took a shot there, missed, but, I mean, it was likely to miss. It was on the move when it fired. But the IL-2 on the top side, he really wants to get rid of this Starstrip. Like, the replacement there was actually so cheeky. The fact that it managed to get in there is just causing Onord such headaches.
T-3485 taking on the Martyr 1, lands its first shot, very nice. Grilla taking on... I think the SG-43 here. That bomber does take out the Slutsk up north. ISU-152 starting to aim up on, I'm assuming, the Panzergren.
Yep. This suit does go down to the Pack 40. We've got the guards on the top side. You know, the IL-2 took care of the Slutsk there. T-34 killed off the Marder in the center. Flag 43 is now flying right over the IL-2, though. Another IL-2 that was not evac'd after it bombed.
I actually think he was going to shoot something this time. It was starting to dive down, and then it got forced off by the Flak 43. So it actually had a target that time.
I don't know. He's seen those already, though. Like, there's no reason to do that.
I don't know either. But now 2 Flak 43s is really quite an investment in AA. These will actually stop PE2s, and they may even kill them. They're so strong.
Yeah, enough shots in the front armor from these Flak 43s. Those IL-2s can go down very fast. So he's got to be careful. The guards, though, on the top side here, definitely solidifying their position. T-3485 chilling at that max range, just trying to avoid the British Stalin for the time being. This British Stalin is going to put a lot of pressure on this top side. So now Gonzo's basically got to use as much time as he's got to take back some of these flags and stop this double tick. Otherwise, things are just going to go downhill.
Yeah, down south here we have 2 T-3476s rolling into the town. That Panzerschreck should be able to poke those if they get too aggressive, because the only other thing... Well, there is some Gavardia DPs as well, so looks like Onord's trying to open up a second front now that Gonzo's really piled into the north.
A nice little dodge there from Onord. Jumped his Tankos out to avoid the Molotov from the Slutsk, but the ISU killed that Pack 40 very, very fast.
Pack 40, yeah, that's what I saw. I was like, oh, that's an insta-delete right there. Up north, Sturm Pioneers going up against the Gavardia, but support from the other Gavardia squad kind of helping. They're too close. I don't think it can fire its flamethrower, but it does still take it out.
He managed to get one flamethrower shot off by jumping out, so that was just enough to save him temporarily. But that guard might just finish him off. Panzergrens are coming in to help clean up those low health guard squads, but the T-3485... It's just kind of out of position now because the British Stalin's kind of forced it to move back, and so it doesn't have the range to engage the Panzer III that would be coming off this hill, which would otherwise be like covering to help with the guards there. So it's kind of a really nice use of the British Stalin so far, just as a presence, even though it hasn't managed to find a kill just yet. Oh, British Stalin, like, missing the shot there. This is the thing that we were talking about with the RNG.
Yeah, the ZIS-2 took out a Panzer IV. The ISU-152 took out one of the Slutsk moving in. Down south, that Panzerschreck did kill one of those T-3476s, so that was a big kill to kind of blunt Onord for a moment there. And we do see up north that these Gavardia are being pretty easily eliminated, and Gonzo's going to re-grab this flag, at least bring it to a 14-10, but he has lost a lot of tickets already. It's so fast.
Yep, Sturm Pioneer coming in to help the Slutsk up against the Tanko Desanniki here. PE2, though, coming in with a bombing strike. Gonzo's going to want to get the time to kill those, and the PE2 will drop its bombs. It has plenty of time to do so. The nice thing about these is, again, they fly so high, they have plenty of time to drop their bombs and get out before AA can even fire at them. It does kill off one of the squads there, but Sturm Pioneer is going to hold the ground.
Yep, so we're down to a 13-11. Down south, Onord's trying to develop his little offensive. He has pushed off one of the Panzergrens, but these other two behind the Panzergren DPs will present a pretty good wall here. up on the hill, a Panzer III went down to the T-34-76 there, so a nice kill. T-34-85 Komroti moving in, so that will actually, I think he's going to actually use that for some veterancy, because he has another T-34-85 there he's not even using.
Yeah, it's just chilling further back. He is going to finally move it forwards. T-34-76 though in a bit of a bad spot. Panzer's going to have to do a runner, but did end up killing the Flamer squad.
Impressive.
Absolute hero. T-34 takes out one of the Panzer IV F1s. Guards are going to be forced back on their bottom side though, but meanwhile on the top, Pak 43 is on its way, and that's going to be bad news for the T-34-85 1944s.
Yeah, that 2K range, you know, the couple of 2K units that 20th Panzer gets are really key here, and it looks like Gonzo knows that, and he's deploying them as such.
Nice plays on the bottom side here by Onord. Takes out the Panzergram with the bombing strike, kills off the Grille with the T-34. That's going to open up a little bit of ground here. Might even give him the flag.
Yeah, if he can manage to... I mean, all his infantry have fallen back, so he does need a couple of fresh infantry in there to actually hold that ground. But yeah, he's in a good spot there.
There's some small engagements there between the T-34-85 and the Pak 43. 43 took a little bit of damage, but the T-34-85 rightly falling back. Guards have managed to get into the position of that town once again, but here comes the BF-109 with a 250-kilogram bomb. Really nice. So just pin those down and force them out of their cover, and then obviously you can just mow them down in the open with the double MG42s.
Yeah, we have the Boy to Stalin moving forward to try to force off this supporting T-34-85, and once that's gone, those infantry are going to melt very quickly. And of course, we have the Grille coming up with it. ISU-152 misses its shot, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was close. Grille fires one back. But yeah, Boy to Stalin really just applying so much pressure on this top side, and I think that honestly the
152 goes down.
The second guards is going to be thinking it's time to kill that Boy to Stalin.
Yeah, so the 152 does go down to the Boy to Stalin. Got the RNG finally blessed Gonzo.
He did fire enough shots, so it was about time. On the bottom side, another Panzergram unit going to be going down. More ground for Onord to take, but it is 13-11. Things have definitely stabilized sooner than they did in the previous game. So Gonzo definitely starting to stack up some forces now.
Yeah, and all the while Gonzo's been making relatively good trades, I think. He is building up a lot of AA. You know, he's going to shut down Onord's Air Force, and we saw in the last game he uses that a lot. So if these Flak 43s, which are very strong, can shut down the Air Force, Onord's going to have a really hard time, especially dealing with these Boy to Stalins and Grilles and things at these long ranges.
Yeah, the PE2s, like if he could just get them to like continuously bomb the Boy to Stalin and actually hit the mark, then that'd be like one way to take them out. He also has the double Katyusha that he's got in here in Phase B, since we have now moved into Phase B. So we'll likely try and use those Katyushas to take out the Boy to Stalin as well. Because the main thing here is, if he can kill the Boy to Stalin, he gets back his ability to use like the ISU-152s, the T-34-85 1944s. Like, the only other thing that he's got to worry about is like the Pak 43s, but the ISUs can deal with them on their own by fire positioning in front of them. So this Boy to Stalin is the biggest problem for Onord, and the longer it takes for him to deal with it, the longer he's going to be having a hard time on this top side of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. Down south, Gonzo bringing a massive armor contingent, 2 Panzer IVs and 2 Marder 1s. I guess he has determined the main issue here is just those T-34-85s. A PE-2 coming in probably to hit this infantry on the hill, and it will get it in. Let's see if it does any damage.
The Panzer IVs here, I think, are just a precursor to Gonzo following it up with a bunch of infantry. But nice bombing strike there, does secure the flag for Onord, keeps him ahead for the time being. I think Onord, honestly, would be kind of worried about letting this go back to 12-12. Since what happened in the last game. It seems like in general Onord definitely has like better early game plans, but then doesn't seem to be able to hold on. T-34 they're going to be going down on the bottom side.
Does take a Marder 1 with it, but these Marder 1s are just so efficient. You're spending 50 points and they can very easily kill 110 point tanks.
Yeah, absolutely expendable. T-34-76 going to be going down there. T-34-85 takes a penetration from one of the Marder 1s. And the Marder 1 goes down. There it goes, the
And
second
down it
T-34. T-34 further back. Does get a penetration onto the Marder. Lucky those bombs didn't land, otherwise that would have been dead.
Yep, up north, the ISU-152 did take a penetration from something. Not sure what, though.
Potentially.
Oh, probably the PaK-43, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From that light cover, Onord can technically do a fire position trick onto the PaK-43 without having to like peek it completely. So, be interested to see if he tries. Ju-87 hanging around on the bottom side is kind of scary for Onord. He's trying to fall back with his T-34-85, although it's got a follow order on the guards that are falling back, so that'd be why it's doing runner.
It feels like a misclick.
Absolutely. Panzer 4.
T-34-76 goes down.
Yep, P2 coming in with the bombing strike once again. Some off-map has arrived, and it's going to be off-mapping absolutely nothing. Panzergrenz moving in, though, to support this armor push, but the Razvedka sitting there with their bazooka waiting to ambush.
Ooh. PaK-43 up north takes a 7 damage shot, but it survives. That one man holding on. You know the feeling of that one, Vulcan.
Oh, 1 health AT guns. They are the deadliest.
Look at it go.
Will it get a shot on target? No, it won't. It's going to go down, of course. Katyushas try and take out the Budge Stalin. Do pin it down. Probably did a decent amount of damage, but didn't get the kill.
Yeah, it's definitely hurt. If you zoom in, it took some damage to get, but it ain't dead.
Meanwhile, on the bottom side, the Ju-87 went down earlier. Panzer 4 does end up helping kill off the Razvedka, so Hearth's going to live to fight another day. With that off map, it's going to stop Onord from getting too far into the town with those new Gavardia squads, but no damage really done by that off map. That second strike, however, might just do the trick.
That one might do some damage.
Marder does go down, not before it penetrates the T-34, and there's a lot of these units are penetrated, I think. Both of the T-34-76s have taken a penetration. The T-34-85 is pretty pristine, but that 25 mil also a great target for this artillery. So both of those T-34-76s could go down, plus the AA. That'd be a really nice off-map strike.
That'd be devastating. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, Budge Stalin just about recovering on the top side of the map. Onord taking all the opportunity he can to move forward his T-34s in the meantime and get some damage in. But another PaK-43 on the way for Gonzo now, and he's going to be placing it in that light cover to help cover his infantry as it tries to advance across the open. But on the bottom side, here comes the off-map, and that one strike, it hit the T-34, 85, 1944, and the 76 at the same time. Get the Panzer 4. Oh, the off-map took out another one as well. Yeah, the Panzer 4 didn't have to do a thing. That off-map was spot on.
Off-map makes me so unhappy. It really does. Now, we see Onord trying to respond with his own 152, and if he times this right, he might catch all these reinforcements coming in as well. Be quite devastating. IL-2
bombing strike coming in on the top side. That's one of the cluster HE bombs. And since the infantry unit was in the building, it got absolutely annihilated. Unfortunately, Gonzo didn't turn off auto-gather in time, so it jumped back into the building and killed itself. But the IL-2 is going to go down there very fast. P2 coming in with the bombing strike, but the look at this go. The two 20mm off-map vehicles charging down the 25mm AA. Nice off-map placement though from Onord, and as you said, all these reinforcements coming in might just get caught in this as well. That would be huge.
Yeah, these Pioneer FCTs are heading up on the hill. I thought he was going to drop it on the hill, not down in the town. If he holds up these infantry long enough, they will do it. This will do quite a bit of damage. And here we go. Let the fireworks begin. Oh,
there goes one of them. One of the Pioneer SVTs go down. I think a lot of the infantry will be okay. They'll be forced back. The main thing is, do these strikes hit the Panzer IVs? Because if the Panzer IVs are taken care of, it kind of takes care of the disparity that was forced by the first off-map strike. Nice bombing strike, though, from the BF-109. And it's going to be on the back of the P2, too.
Oh, no. Yeah, the ZIS-2 killed the Panzer IV, the bomber killed the ZIS-2, and now the BF-109 is going after this P2. Quite a chain of events. There it goes. And it got it.
P2 goes down. And the Panzer IVs, and we're taken care of, but yeah, this off-map vehicle is still hunting down this 25 mil. Yeah, it's using its machine gun to try and kill it slowly but surely. Another off-map strike going to be coming down onto Gonzo, but it doesn't really have anything to follow that up, so I'm not sure how effective he's going to be. There's just such a huge infantry disparity here on the bottom side right now.
Yeah, and we're about a minute into Phase C, which means neither of these players are getting tons. We have 3 Katyushas now. For Onord, so he really, now that the Boy to Stalin is on the run, basically.
Yeah. Those 3 are going to definitely have the concentration to kill the Boy to Stalin. I'm surprised that he bought the 3rd one. They are quite difficult to resupply because they're so, like, there's so much supply cost that goes into those. I'm not sure if he's going to get much value.
Yeah, off map coming in on the hill here from that 152. If he can take out that Panzer III, he could really open this up again, and he does. So big kill there.
Yeah, also the 25 mil took out the off-map vehicle that was trying to kill it. So that was nice.
Finally.
T-34-85 going to be engaging some of this infantry as it pushes forward. But I think even with... Oh, was that a fresh off-map vehicle going down as well? I think it was. He managed to get the 1 strike down there, but it just died to the 152 mil. So Gonzo's going to lose that 1 extra strike that we would have otherwise had. That's a big kill.
That is a big kill. Because that 220 is very, very dangerous. Like, it kills stuff. Like, it actually kills things very consistently. P2 coming in here. See what that's... I mean, I assume it's going for this large patch of troops or this Pioneer SVT on the edge here.
Yeah, it's going for the Pioneer. Will be landing those bombs.
And we've seen Gonzo dodge the majority of these P2 strikes. It's actually been really quite impressive.
Yeah. Like, yeah, they're fast, they fly high, but that does give you plenty of time to dodge, and Gonzo does do a micro very well. Panzergren's going to get hit by that IL-2 cluster bomber, so not too bad, but oh, there goes the T-34-76 to that off-map. Panzergren's going to be doing a ton of damage to that guards. That's a lot of MG-42s on target there. You would not want to be that guard squad.
And I think Onord, I think he only called in 2 strikes off that 152, so I think he might have lost one of them.
Guila under fire. It's going to get taken out by the T-34-85, 1944. It's a nice kill for Onord. I think, you know, there's a limited amount of Guila in these decks, especially when you take them in Phase A. So cleaning that up is very, very helpful. Allows you to use, like, AT more aggressively. But Panzergren's going to get killed. Yeah, nice.
Ooh. Yeah, that was a lot of damage. I think that's how Onord has to use these PE2s now because of the amount of AA and stuff. If he really wants to, like, chunk those infantry, he's going to have to use them in 2s.
Yeah, Katyushas. Oh, he tried to hold fire, so they all fired at the same time, and then he's going to let them rip now. Will the Boy to Stalin go down? Gonzo sees it coming, but nope, it's dead.
And it's
already.
dead.
It's dead already. I love the way the previous strike just took like 2 whole strikes to kill it. Or like not even kill it. And then like in that strike, it was like the first 3 rockets they hit. Pack 43 though, gonna get payback against the T-34-85 1944.
Oh, the blessed RNG gods.
Yeah. The bottom side, these infantry engagements continuing, but these long-range engagements always going to be in favour of these Panzergrens. The guards just going to severely struggle.
Oh yeah, and they're not even Gavardia DP. They're just Gavardia. Like, they just aren't very strong.
BF-109 coming in with the 250 kilogram bomb. We'll be able to get that off, do some damage there, and it looks like it will get out safely because the 25 mil didn't have enough time on target. I thought I was just about to eat my words there.
Pack 43 on the hill, though, that can definitely take out this T-34-85. That's kind of holding things up for Onord here. And we do see a nice 12-12, and we're very stagnant right now, actually.
Yeah, both players just trying to clean out the other people's like significant units. Now that Boris Stalin's gone down on the top side, the next thing that Onord needs to do is reload those Katyushas and take out the Pak-43s. Like, those are the next things that he needs to break down. Once the Pak-43s dealt with, then the ISUs and T-34, 85, 1944s get opened up, and he can start to make some decent ground. But currently, he's bleeding a lot of infantry to Gonzo in these town engagements.
Yeah, and that's a lot of points to ask for at this point in the game. To like reload ISU 152s, and I mean he's bringing one in right now, and it's double star, which means he only has one or two more left at most.
Yeah, we'll start to do a lot of damage now, though.
Yeah, Gavardia moving in, and now Gonzo has 5 pieces of Flak 43, I believe. Yeah, so I mean the air is probably shut down to him.
Yeah, these Flak 43's got a lot of them. I mean, it stops the P3s going deep, but they can still kind of pick off these infantry, say for example on the bottom side, that are quite far up. Nice move by Onord though, did manage to get a guard unit into the building on the bottom side with the Pioneer. Since he was in the same building, the Pioneer can't use its HE grenades, so the guards did manage to kill them off, because they technically are better at close range. Panzer 3, going to be pinning those down though, forcing them back off the hill. Panzer 3N. Actually kind of like these vehicles. The Panzer 3N, little stubby gun there, firing at these guards, chipping those away.
Similar to the Panzer 4s from last game, it looks like Gonzo has a soft spot for these support Panzers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they, as you mentioned in the last game with the Panzer 4, they're just great value for money.
Very efficient. And it's tough because support tabs are very strained. There's a lot of things you want in them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Pioneer SVT does manage to surrender one of the guard squads there after they get pinned down, and will be chasing down the second, but the T-34 85 1944 has something to say about that. ISU 152 in the meantime is going to be fire positioning this Pioneer on the top. Pak-43 has fallen all the way back for Gonzo, as he doesn't want that to come under fire.
ISU 152 hitting that Pioneer SVT, trying to force that out. Once he forced that out of the building, I mean, it'll be close to him capturing that flag, and that would bring it back to a 1311. Down south, that Panzer 3N is doing quite a bit of damage, although we do have an OB-25, but that's probably going to get wiped out by all these tanks on the hill.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of tanks. T-34 is trying to move up and engage, but getting distracted by the Pioneers. I think the veterancy on these Panzer 3s and Marders is going to be enough to deal with that. 25 but also went down there. Oh, but this T-34 85 is getting plenty of shots onto that armor.
Oh yeah, it took out a Marder 1 and a Panzer 3 there in that little engagement and took no shots itself. So that's definitely a good trade there for Onord. He needs that. He needs that badly.
Yep, T-34 is now going to try and peek onto the remaining Panzer 3 and Marder. Marder's not facing the right way initially, but T-34 didn't manage to get it shot off due to gun depression. That was not ideal for Onord. It's always very risky to push your tanks over a ridge like that because they do always suffer from those gun depression issues.
Yeah, you're always like hoping they'll actually go far enough to get past it. Katyusha is aiming up at that Pak-43 there, and you notice Gonzo aims behind. I mean, Onord aims behind it because when you press fall back, it goes directly into the rocket strike.
I'm not sure in this case, like, it'd be worth to, because
it's very slow.
It's too slow, yeah. I think the main reason he's targeting it there is because that's where he believes it is, since he can't see it with the Dozor. But the Dozor should spot it soon, as it is coming to the edge of the trees there. I don't know if it's close enough.
He's also sending a shot down, one of the salvos down onto this hill where the engagement's happening right now, so that should be interesting. It should suppress a lot of stuff. Yep.
It would be a really good placement actually on the bottom. I just really hope it doesn't fire at the Pak-43. Half track goes down on the bottom side. T-34 taking that out. It's very, very close to reload there. BF-109 going to be coming in with the bombing strike. If Gonzo can kind of break down the stuff that would otherwise be charging him after this Katyusha strike already, then maybe he'll be okay. But here goes the Katyusha strike. Will it take out any of these tanks? It could potentially take out the Marder. Unlikely to take out the Panzer 3 or Panzer 4 unless enough rockets get on target. Here comes the T-34-76 afterwards and just takes a shot to the face. There was not enough rockets there to pin down the
No,
armor.
I think he was imagining that this armor was getting pinned down, and he would
Yeah,
just drive up over the hill and just solo all of them, and that
absolutely.
did not happen at all.
Yeah, meanwhile, the rockets that went onto the Pack 43 didn't do barely enough damage, taking it down to 5 health.
Yeah, Katyushas are consistently disappointing in my experience.
I think in the second guards, they are the one of the only options you have to deal with a lot of this sort of these heavier units indirectly. But in my opinion, you don't even need them. Like I mentioned before with the ISU-152, if he just keeps like fire positioning this light cover whilst walking forwards infantry, this Pack 43 is not going to be doing anything. You can see there he's firing at it now.
Yeah, ISU-152 does have eyeballs on now, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, the Katyushas are kind of like a necessary evil, I'd like to call him. But you don't he's called in all 4 of them now, which is actually quite impressive. This Pack 43 now, though, on target of this T-34-85, that's definitely very dangerous.
Yeah, he's got the Katyusha coming in on it, though. So if the T-34-85 wants to keep shooting the Pack 43, it can, but it does actually have no HE rounds left, actually, saying that. Will enough rockets land on target? No, they will not.
They never do.
I mean, the sweet spot is 2 per strike. And
Yeah.
I feel like if there was 2 that went on the top side of the hill, that T-34 would have had a completely different story. But when you just do these single strikes, they're not going to do anything. But just have too much dispersion. I think that the other thing that I've noticed with artillery over time when playing Steel Division 2 is that, you know, when you have that circle, when you have 2 of any particular unit, almost always at least 1 of the shells or rockets goes into the exact middle when you have 2, but when you have 1, it almost never does.
Huh. Maybe you've broken the game. you've broken the RNG formula.
Yeah, nice use of these PETs, bringing them in en masse so that they can get past the AA. Enough to kill this Pack 43, he's hoping, with that bombing strike. But the dispersion, oh no. Oh. It was everywhere but the Pack 43. Oh, that was disgusting. That was really, really unlucky.
He did bring up some munitions for this T-30-45, which might be dead here soon momentarily from this Panzer IV. He does take one Panzer IV down. Will it take the other one down before he dies? He can't see it. Oh no.
Yeah, he can't see that Panzer IV. It's blind. Meanwhile, on the top side, the ISU-152 did finally clean up the Pack 43 and also just took out a Flak 43. So there is ground being made here quite quickly by Onord. A second Flak 43 went down actually up there as well.
Wow, he's clearing it out. Down south, though, Gonzo's really dominating, and up north, I wouldn't say Onord's dominating. He has like no infantry. It's really these 2 tanks holding the whole line.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, he really needs like some just infantry to walk forwards whilst his ISUs fire position things. But the 1944 did finally go down to the Panzer IV there. It was amazing how blind that was, especially considering how many shots that Panzer IV took.
Yeah, it felt like he should have noticed it eventually. You'd think it's a tank. Like an AT gun I would understand, but a tank? Like you didn't notice that? It seems odd.
Panzer 3N on the hill does go down to the T-34-85, 1944. But these Panzer IVs are creeping up into the light cover. At closer ranges, they'll definitely be able to deal with a T-34-85. You're just going to want to make sure that they both peak at the same time, though. Otherwise, the T-34-85, with its extra veterancy, will have a decent rate of fire in order to win those engagements.
Yeah, nice. And I definitely think, down south, yeah, M2A1 goes down. I think Onord's scraping the bottom of the infantry barrel because we're bringing in AVTOs into this open map.
True. Yeah. But the M2A1 half-tracks are going to be nice for helping out with the Panzergrens. They are 2 vet again. I think, like, Onord, he definitely likes his veterancy. And I think on these tanks, it does definitely help out quite a lot, particularly when you're not using too many leaders.
Yeah, and I actually think that the double vet in this case feels like an availability thing. You only have so many M2A1s, so if you unvet the AVTOs, you probably can't bring enough M2A1s in.
Oh yeah, true, because the second Guards tank corps has a limited amount of them, doesn't it?
Yeah, you get 18. So if you bring in like no vet AVTOs, you will definitely not be able to. And I think even single vet AVTOs, you just won't have enough.
This cheeky half-track creating a salient here, grabbing a 15th flag for
I see Gonzo doing that a lot.
It's very cheeky. Is this 2, though, going to be trying to engage Panzer 4? Gonzo does fall back, though. Avto takes out another half-track that was YOLOing forwards. So currently 14 to 10. Gonzo definitely going to be holding the ground on the bottom side. I don't think that Onord really has much left there that can deal with anything there. He has maybe the Katyushas that might be able to open it up, but maybe he's going to be continuing to focus on the top side with his remainder of units.
Yeah, I think he's going to run out of ammo soon. He's got 5 Studebaker snaps in. So I assume he brought in a C-phase card of 6. So he's going to run out of ammo eventually. These things are just so ammo hungry. Looks like he's sending a strike up north somewhere here. Oh no, he's using his northern ones to strike down south at these kind of jutting out troops here.
Yeah.
Seems a little wasteful.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of weird. Like, you don't want to ever blind fire these Katyushas because they're bad enough as it is. That bombing strike, though, will take out the T-34-85 as it was already damaged. Here goes the Katyusha looking for the Panzer 3 kill. Ju-87s are coming in for the cluster strikes. He tried to split them to bring them in, but Onord actually microed those to target both rather than just one at a time. So managed to pin down both of them before they drop their cluster. Shoots down one as well. Nice job by Onord.
Shoot down the second.
Oh yeah, the second's going to go down as well. So that's all 3 of those Ju-87s dead.
Yeah, that's some big kills. Because actually, I think Gonzo's out of Pack 43s. Other than that one down south that he had left, I think the rest are dead.
Nice bombing strike from the P2 as well. Takes out the Panzer 3 that was putting pressure on the flag there. So some significant kills there for Onord.
Absolutely. Here comes the Katyusha down south. Let's see if he can finish the job he failed at before. Oh no, he's not aiming at the Pack 43.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does take out the Marder though, so that's something.
Yeah.
And the Pioneer almost went down, but here goes another Katyusha towards the MG42, looking to clear out the hill. It might kill the MG42. If it doesn't, then that's kind of disappointing. Yep.
Oof. Oof.
Oh, it does make you cringe, doesn't it?
it's always a face palm every time I see one of them things fire. It's like, oh, why? Pack 40 about to take out this Avto, trying to get into this little complex here. This is a ripe kill right there. Oh, but he has the APCR on.
APCR, yeah. It's
oh no,
that was a fail. The thing is that Pack 40's been alive for so long, but yeah, another Katyusha firing away. It will pin this infantry, but what's the point here?
Like, yeah, he's not bringing anything to follow up. He should be trying to kill the last of this AA. Maybe would be a much. I mean, he may not know where that is, but like that would be what I'm looking for target wise.
I mean, I understand like Katyusha in the town down there if you have like one of those M2A1 half tracks ready to push in, but otherwise it's just not really any point. And like you say, the AA would have been a much better choice because he could like even just bring in like this IL-2 that he's bringing on the top side, like these cluster HE things that just don't really do any damage. Fly it about, let it get shot at, so you know the location of the Pack 43. Just instantly smash it with the Katyushas. Imagine if he hit this double Flag 43 position on the bottom side.
Oh my goodness. Well, and it's got the munitions there. It would explode and probably even kill those. Up north, the IL-2 clustering the Panzer 3 for fun, I guess.
And now it's going to float around.
Yeah. And it does look like these all these munitions trucks are out for these Katyushas. And like I said, oh, yeah, it does have one more coming in. I think he's got 6. That was my guess. So that is the 6th, and I assume final ammo truck for him. Again, if he kills this AA, the whole sky is open to him. And if you haven't noticed, Gonzo has no fighters. I have to assume he has none. Because all they get are the BF-109 G2s, and I haven't seen a single one, which leads me to believe he didn't bring any in.
Yeah, he's just got the bomber variants, but they can be used to shoot down the enemy aircraft, potentially. It's just he's probably not choosing to because he doesn't need to yet, at least.
If he kills these flaks, his PA2s can really, I mean, and then his IL2s can actually really get strikes in too. This STKFZ 251 shooting at the munition truck. Oh, he really needs that too.
Yeah. He's going to use it to resupply the ISU 152, which has got pretty low on ammunition now. Currently still sitting on the 1311 in favor of Gonzo, though. To me, it's weird because like a lot of Gonzo's stuff on this bottom side is such low availability that it almost feels like he shouldn't really have such a free time controlling this. But then Onord is just, I feel, completely out of infantry. It just doesn't really have the substantial units to push back. And I mean, it's just going to really get worse from this point forwards.
Yeah, this just feels like an awkward standoff. A classic Maverick game where both players kind of run out of points and stuff. This Katusha way too far away to actually have a chance of killing this Pack 43. It did pin it down at the last moment to save that Avto, his final man. But otherwise, that was kind of a waste of that last bit of ammo.
Yep, now Katusha going to be firing at the Panzer 4 on its own. It's really just got to stop firing these on his own, or on their own. BF-49 coming in with a bombing strike there, looking for the Avto on the flag. Is going to find it and pin it down. Double P2 coming in on the top side. These are the ones with the two 500 kilogram bombs, looking for the Panzer 4 and Panzergrens in the town there. Tankos will be following up shortly afterwards, unless they're dead.
No, they won't. They will not be following anybody. And let's see if it looks like these bombs might actually land for once. Gonzo not seeing it. Oh, but he split them. He split the targets.
Yeah, but they didn't end up killing. The Flak 43 is on the bottom side in position to do a bunch of damage to the P2. The P2 is out safe and sound. Stosstroop did go down for that bombing strike. This 2, however, is going to die to the Pack 43. And yeah, we're still, like you say, it's like an awkward standoff. That's probably like the perfect word for it. It's like the classic Maverick conundrum. But nice hit there onto the Pack 43, or sorry, the Pack 43 onto the T-34.
Gonna go. I thought Panzer 4 hopping in to finish it off.
Last shot.
This is not a good position.
Oh, there it goes.
Yes, down it goes. And that's a big loss. That's 110 points. That's a tick and a half basically of income for Onord. That's bad.
I'm curious if he even has any of those left, even because they've all been
do get a lot.
Double vetted. Yeah, but they've all been double vetted.
Yeah.
So and he had them like early on, right, in the early phases.
Oh, Avto and the M2A1 goes down at that hill to that Panzer 3.
Yeah, there's like only infantry squads that he's got left is just dying in the transports. That's not what you want to see.
There's another T-3045. These are actually single vet, so he gets, I think, 10 of them or something in C on a single card.
Yep, could be a good late game unit for these extended Maverick games. But yeah, Panzer 3 is actually going to be able to make some decent ground here. There's not really much standing in its way. It'll probably find the 37mm and end up killing that off. So he's going to be able to take probably 2 more flags because of that. The one in the town and the one on the bridge. That will finally put Gonzo at a 15-9.
Yeah, I noticed too that Gonzo keeps subtly moving this 88, this Pack 43 here, back and forth. And it keeps just like dodging these Katusha strikes because it's always on like the very edge of the ring from these little movements he's making all the time with it.
Yeah, it's like when you have like 88s in and you give them like that attack move order, just like go around in a circle.
Yep.
So they stop and fire aircraft, but then they just keep moving afterwards, and it just makes it really awkward to arty them.
Oh, Pack 43, a penetration on that T-3485. This is gonna be a 110 point unit going down without doing a thing.
Yep, second shot there, clean through the front armor. And the Panzer 3N still happy to sit and control that flag. A Katusha strike coming in. Going to be missing the mark once again.
At least this time he had the second one queued up there, but again, I think he did finally actually like put it on him.
I put it in 2 different places again, not on the same place. So it literally didn't hit anything. Like 2 of them just hit nothing. Like the Pioneer was on 1 health on its side. Like it just I don't know.
Avto in the trees here being spotted by the Panzergrens. Of course, it can't do anything at all, so it's immediately forced back.
BF-49 coming in with a Sapperty.
Yeah, up north, Tanko getting excited up there, trying to get in.
Up at the I mean, it should be able to take care of the Panzer again. And the T-34-85 actually should be able to take care of both the Panzer III and the Panzer IV in theory. But the closer that the T-34 gets, the more it gives an advantage to the Panzer III and the Panzer IV, because the Panzer III can then get penetration with the APCR and the Panzer IV just standard penetration. But there is more and more units coming on this bottom side now, and it's not looking good.
This too does take out that cheeky Panzer III down south, so that's a plus. But now the Sturm Pioneer is finally going to find this 37 mil. Let's see if this Katusha can get the job done. Oh, it lands a hit, finally.
Yeah.
Will it do and it did it! It's a miracle.
Finally.
20 minutes of destruction is finally brought to an end.
Panzergrens kill off that AA piece. But yeah, this too did take a decent chunk of damage from the Panzer III, but it just seems like Onord here, he's still struggling. He's bringing in another T-34-85 1944, and as you mentioned with the income, it's only 80 points per minute at the moment. So he's sitting back and he's saving for another T-34 because it just, like his last one just got killed by the Pak-43 that took him like 10 Katyusha strikes to kill.
Yep. Well, and the thing is too, like, and we see the power here of bringing in a C-phase card of half-track infantry. You notice these Panzergrens are coming in these half-tracks. It is so difficult in the late game to continuously have to deal with these annoying half-tracks when a lot of your AT has died and you need infantry and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. P2 coming in with a bombing strike onto the Sturm Pioneer. Be able to kill those off.
The one veering off.
Yeah, lost its target completely.
And it's probably gonna die actually. Double vetted 43s, I would think should be able to kill this thing.
Absolutely.
Flying, yeah, it's gonna die. Oh, it's dead. It's gonna be dead.
It's definitely dead. The poor P2 got lost over the top of those. Not a place you want to be. This too on the bottom side, going to be getting ready to engage the Panzer IV as it backs up the hill, but misses that shot.
ISU 152 takes out the Panzer IV. Nice single shot. P2 all the way up north. Going to try to take out some of these infantry, but you can see here, it's just when you get a half-track and infantry, it just bulks up your line so much.
Yep. Is that bombing strike going to land on these tanks? Nope. It actually landed right in between.
Wow, that was unfortunate.
Panzer IV trying to take on the T-34-85 though. T-34-85 misses that shot. But the Panzergrens are going to go down to the tankos. T-34-85 does actually cancel its engagement as the Panzer IV moves up to avoid another penetration there. Still sitting on the 16-8, so not too long until Gonzo wins.
Yeah, I was about to say, despite all the fighting, we still have a 16-8 as Onord continues to bleed points. And he forgot to recall this PE too.
Still going to be floating around. Needs to start shift commanding his evac more often, because I just see it so often from Onord. It's like one of the things I feel like he could still improve, like as a player.
I literally every time I call plane, I'm immediately selecting it and queuing up a runaway order. Ooh, T-3045 goes down up north to, I think the Panzer IV got a side shot on it.
Yep, very nice.
Big loss. Big loss for him. IL-2M stopped pretty immediately, so it won't be able to take out this Panzergren. Well, the T-3045 might be able to, unless that Panzer IV gets a sight of it.
Back to 14-10 for a little while. T-3045 still trying to sort of get some presence here, but the Avtos are actually moving up on this bottom side. Do a lot of damage to the Panzergren, force it out, but the Panzer IV taking out the half track. It's going to mean those Avtos are isolated once more. Going to be a T-34-85 getting a penetration on that bridge.
It took a side shot.
Yep, Panzer IVs only need to land one more really to get the job done, get the driver knock.
That doesn't stop it from killing stuff.
Yeah. BF-109 is coming in with the bombing strike. That's already damaged now, so this bombing strike might finish the job.
Should. And dead. Yeah. And that is what I like about. I like T-3045s. A lot of people don't, but I think they're quite good. So and then Onord finally decides the game ends at 50 minutes either way. That was the end of it.
Yep. Yeah, with the T-34-85 going down, Gonzo is the victor due to tickets at the end of the game there. 4,515 kills to 4,165 losses. Another game that was very close in kills and losses, and Onord had a really strong start once again, but allowed Gonzo to get back in. That boy to Stalin sitting around for just a little bit too long.
Yeah, and those Pack 43s getting a few too many really key kills that just really wasted a lot of those points for Onord.
Yeah. Nice kills
Wow.
though for Onord. That's
Yeah.
a hell of a T-34-85 for the top side. That was probably
Wow.
before and after the Boy Stalin was dealt with, right? He kept a lot of those units alive on the top for a very long time and definitely made good use of those. But further down, obviously, they struggled in the town. The P2 did get plenty of infantry kills, and the ISUs just doing really nicely. Yeah, in general, those T-34-85s did well.
Yeah, I find them to be pretty efficient. Are they the greatest thing ever? No, but I would take one of those over a Panther any day. I just find they're more consistent for me, and they actually land hits from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Onord microed his units well. I mean, he got a lot of value, especially at the units he called in at the beginning of the game. Got a lot of value as the game got on, and he got kind of backed into a corner. We saw him make a lot more mistakes, and a lot of more units just died doing nothing.
Yeah. If we look at the kills that Gonzo got, like the Greeners were being used pretty well. The Boys of Stalin didn't really pick up like that many kills, but picked up significant kills, like killing off the ISU 152 and the T-34-85. That's very nice for the top side engagement. Furthermore, the Boys of Stalin also just applied a lot of pressure, which stopped like Onord from pushing forwards. Like every time that Boy Stalin moves forwards, Onord's going to move back, and then that allows Gonzo to make moves on the flags there and take them back from a position where he was really like in a bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, in 1v1, super heavy tanks aren't. It's not actually about getting tons of kills with them. It's about controlling ground, projecting influence with them. You're not going to get huge kill lists because people aren't dumb enough to drive stuff right up to them. They know. So, like, it ends up just being that you're controlling a whole chunk of the map with a single unit.
Yeah. Nice. Pack 43 did get 3 T-34 kills, 2 of them 85 1944s. So that definitely paid itself off. I think there's about 100 points, aren't they? And then the T-34-85s are like 110. So even just killing one with those Pack 43s is a good trade. I guess generally, though, you don't want to do that because of availability, but still. Gonzo used his 2,000 meter range units for as long as he needed to in order to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, he made absolute use of all. I mean, he's got 3 units basically at 2K: Grilla, Pack 43, and the IS2. And I mean, he used them all. He used the crap out of all of them.
The one thing that kind of frustrates me about this game is I feel like Onord could have won if those Katyushas were played better.
It's very possible. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is very possible. If he could have taken out that boy to Stalin sooner, certainly he could have opened up the top side a little bit sooner. And it seems incredible in the first 10 minutes of the game that Onord's not going to win, because he just makes so much ground and he plays so well in the first 10 minutes of the game, and things just slowly slip away so quickly. Yeah. And I guess that's playing against Gonzo. That's kind of the experience I think you always have, but it feels like he starts out on such a great foot, not just a good foot, but like he's like 15-9 1 minute into the game.
He gets really like overextended though quite often, I feel, and since he's ending up closer to his opponent's spawn, it does kind of make it easier for your opponent to push back initially, and obviously Gonzo's a good player as well, so that obviously helps.
Absolutely true, yeah.
So there is that. But yeah, I think the Katyushas were the key here, because he was using them individually, which I think is like a cardinal sin of Katyushas. You just don't use them on their own. And then the other times they were just like misplaced strikes, like not enough use of like recon potentially, right? To be able to actually see what you're firing at. Like even if you can't see anything, like you can just bring in like a plane to get shot at on purpose, right? And then you can hit the AA where it fires from. You can just walk forward as an infantry squad. It gets shot at by like an HE shell of an AT gun, and then you just hit it with a Katyusha. Like that's the sort of thing that Onord was like missing here.
Yeah, I definitely think the random strikes with them were not really doing anything at all. Definitely some wasted opportunity there, and yeah, I mean, it just didn't go his way.
Well, we're coming on an hour now of this cast, so should we wrap it up?
Oh, let's drag it out. Just kidding. If anyone's still there, you know.
Anyone there?
Hit that like and subscribe button, please.
Thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Have a good one.